Hey you guys, so guess what happened? I recorded this for about an hour. I was just talking, doing the book review for Atomic Habits, and then it didn't say. I'm going to be talking about James Clear's Atomic Habits. So when I asked you guys on my community page what books I should recommend because I want to be more well-read, so one of the books that was recommended, and this was recommended by Atomic 6, was Atomic Habits. So thank you for the recommendation. When I sat down and I read this book, my goodness, it definitely changed my life. Because it provided so much more clarity about goals, actually made them seem to be more achievable. So for instance, one of the things that they talk about is that you have to think about like what kind of life you want for yourself, and then you think about things, and then you think about like, okay, how can I get there? So for example, right, let's say you see a person who's very athletic. You might think to yourself, wow, I wish I had a better body. Instead of just wishing it, you look at that person and you say, well, that athletic person has to exercise, so I should exercise too. Even if you don't, have a six-pack or anything like that, even if you don't have the rippling muscles, the fact that you're exercising makes you successful. The fact that you're exercising aligns you with the person who is fit. And from there, right, from exercise, you can start looking up nutrition, you can start looking up other things. And the way Atomic Habits is that it doesn't just tell you how to do things, like good habits, it also tells you like bad habits, how to make bad habits unattractive. It's presented in such a way that it makes you look forward to achieving your goals. And when you achieve your goals, it becomes really a confidence booster as well. So then it just makes you go higher and higher and higher. One concept that I really liked about Atomic Habits is they have this idea of the 1% rule. If you try to improve yourself 1% every day, in 1 year, you'll be 37 times greater than where you were when you first started. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what, Erica, I think you can do this. I think this is doable. So Atomic Habits builds upon this idea that, if you have goals that are achievable and exciting and enjoyable to achieve, you will achieve them. And then when you have systems in place, you will not fall short. So that's the importance about just making sure like you always have this kind of like accountability. And it always just talks about systems to not just maintain, but to improve. That I got from Atomic Habits was this quote. He said, success is not a goal to reach or finish line to cross. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. And I liked it a lot because I thought to myself, well, yeah, if you're going through the process of achieving your goals, you've already become successful. When you combine that with the 1% rule, 1% every day, or aiming for 1% growth consistently, I'm going to try to achieve 1% growth every day. Then my take is that in 1 year, I will be in a much better place than I am today. And having this book at the timing that it came in my life just made me think like, I can achieve this. And it's been absolutely incredible for me. From this book, I've also associated some of the tasks that may be a little tedious with positive things. So whenever I'm reading a book, I eat a Pico Candy. Whenever I am doing video editing, I eat a Pico Candy. Whenever I am doing like certain things that I just kind of feel like, this sucks, I eat a Pico Candy. Why do I do it? Because I want to have a good association with this candy. Side note over here, this candy is basically a cup of coffee. This candy is caffeinated, so if you do need a caffeine boost throughout the day, you just open one of these. And I think you can buy a bag of these for about like $1.05, $1.20. And you get a whole bunch of these. So I usually keep a bunch of them with me around, because let's say if I want to go out and I say like, hey, this is time for me to work on my video editing, all I got to do is bring my laptop with me, and I already got the Pico Candy on me, and it's good, right? It's much cheaper and much more portable than a cup of coffee as well. So Atomic Habits made me consciously aware about certain things that I was doing. And once I realized that, I was like, you know what? Keep doing this. Keep having these Pico Candies. I have 2 bags of these at home. I never want to run out of these Pico Candies. Ever. Check them out. They're probably at your local Asian supermarket, by the way. Just putting it out there. So, when I think about this book, overall, the fact that it makes goals more attractive to achieve, and it dissuades you from the bad habits, and it goes around this whole premise about like, what kind of person do you want to be? How can we make things easier for you to become that person? It's presented in such a nice, clear, and concise package that I think it's a very, very good book. And what I've taken away from this book is that we really owe it to ourselves to live the life that we want, because truly, if we give up on ourselves and if we don't achieve our goals, no one is ever going to find out how great we could be. And you never know what's possible. So if you guys are, have this goal in mind, or if you're going through a process, I truly believe that you're already on the path of success. For me, I have my goals. I'm working on my goals. I have all my lists of things that I need to work on. I have everything in this book, and I add knowledge to this book every day. And this is one of the things that they talk about. They say, you shouldn't focus so much about where you are right now, but focus on your trajectory. Is your trajectory on life looking good? If it does look good, continue onwards. If it doesn't look good, then reassess, reevaluate your habits, your behaviors, your goals. This book has a lot of stories in it. One of the stories shared was this Hungarian man who believed that a genius was not born, but that they were educated and trained. So he had 3 daughters. He raised them in an environment that it revolved around chess. And the daughters, because they were working so consistently at the chess, they became masters. They became champions at such a young age. You would consider them prodigies. And it's because they were fully immersing themselves at the goal. They enjoyed it as well. Reading that story about the young children made me think to myself, like, yeah, I do believe with practice and going after things, I do think everybody could be great at mostly anything. If you have a weakness, just hammer at it. So that's where my book comes in. It has all those things that I want to work on, all the things that I am working on. I want to call this the 1% better book. When it comes to goals or just like achieving things, I thought about this way. Have you guys ever been to a range? When you have like the target, and then you think about it, right? People don't shoot a few things and then they just say like, oh, okay, I hit the bullseye. Some people do, some people don't. But I think most people, if they feel like they're a bad shot, they're gonna keep going at it. They're gonna say like, I got 20, 30 shots over here where I can try to hit that bullseye. And if they don't hit the bullseye, they don't really think about it too much, right? Like for instance, if you had a target, like a paper target, and then you had, a 9 M&M over here, and you had about 150 rounds, you're gonna not only hit the bullseye, I'm pretty sure, you're gonna probably obliterate that piece of paper. That's just through sheer brute force, assuming that you're hitting the paper. For me, when I think about obstacles in life, I have to think about it like trying to hit a bullseye with a 9 M&M, because you might hit it in 1 or 2 marks, or maybe I'll take you 50 marks, but the consistency and the sustained effort will lead to success. Just doing that act, it makes you already more successful than you were. If it takes you 100 shots to hit a bullseye, at least you hit that bullseye on the 100th shot versus you stopped at like 99. I think that success is a lot more achievable. I really credit this book for that, but I've definitely had a change in how I view things now. I'm a lot less anxious. I look at goals as completely doable. In fact, I don't even like to look at things now as a losing situation. Like if someone said, oh, okay, Erica, try to do pottery, I would say, you know what, I might not be the best potter, but I think if I did it for a couple of years, I'd be really good. That is the beauty of Atomic Habits. You become the person that you want to be. You become a more goal-driven, motivated person. You don't let down yourself. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't allow you to let down yourself. And it's such a beautiful book in that regard. And my goal is to improve 1% a day. So I will talk to you guys later. If you guys are interested in the book, I do have a link for Amazon and Audible as well. I think audiobooks are really great because you can listen to them while you are waiting for something, or while you're just like casually doing something. The feedback that you guys give me for my videos, it means a lot to me because it helps me improve. Sometimes you guys talk about the audio quality. Guess what? Guess what I have? I have a microphone down here. And yeah, I'll also include a link in the description for the gimbal that I'm using, as well as the audio that I'm using. I'm using a mobile microphone, and I hope you guys like it. I think it sounds pretty good. So you guys take care. I shall see you